You're listening to the voice of IWA Flip here on InterFed Radio. Welcome to Living Nightmare After Hour. With me today in studio, Commissioner Scott Anderson. Commissioner, welcome.
Hey, thank you. And just to prep right away, I appreciate all Flip's help. We're recording this pretty late, right before the cycle drops, so we're going to knock it out as fast as possible. I hope everybody understands this one's going to be short so we can get it up, so we can highlight some stuff, and then we're just going to move on to next cycle. So cheers to trying to speed through as much as possible while still giving credit and due diligence to all the happenings in the Living Nightmare League. With that in mind,
I'm going to go ahead because I'm the biggest blabber. So I'm going to digress. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to listen. And then, like I said, if I have to add some stuff at the end, I'll blab at the end. So, Commissioner, it's all yours. It's all yours.
Brother. Okay. So, Flip, would you like to read our champions?
I would. Yeah, we can do that. Like after I said I'm going to digress.
We'll get you in a little.
All right, that'll work. Let's see. And as I'm bringing up my my PDF, shout out to all the LNL managers for we broke the record again. Yes.
133 cards. We can double check.
But that's
I think 133 might be our highest.
Whew. That's awesome. Shout out. Let's see here. This is cycle number 50. Our Nightmare champ, Patient Z. Paranormal champ, Darth Jigoku. Amityville champion, Torgo. Our Crystal Lake champion, Patient X. Elm Street champion, The Master. Black Lagoon champion, Darth Akuma. Camp Arwak champion, Jean Valek. Transylvania champion, Dr. Frankenstein. Our Haunted Hill champion from the Battle Royal, Jason Voorhees 13. Our Sleepy Hollow champion also from the Battle Royal, Squeaky. And Salem's Lot champion, the Crypt Keeper. The Crypt champion, the Hitchhiker. And our Apocalypse Tag Team champions, Patient X and Dr. Frankenstein. Uh-oh, this is trouble. Doomsday TV champion, Patient Z and Patient Y. Slaughterhouse six-man champion, One Eye, Crypt Keeper, and the Hitchhiker. Nightmare TV six-man champ, Darth Yoru, Darth Akuma, and Darth Jigoku. Shout out to the Sith.
Yeah, shout out. So, because we'll get to the rest here in a moment, because we had over 100 cards, every singles champion gets 10 free matches. So if you manage two singles champions, that's 20 free matches this cycle. So hopefully everybody remembers to use those. Along with that, Jay Valick, if I'm pronouncing that close to right, had a perfect 501, but was outflowed for national. So, and then also Dr. Frankenstein and Patient X had a 516 strat for their tag, but it was not perfect point flow. So no world tag for them, but still pretty good. So it was our 50th cycle. As Flip mentioned, we did have 133 cards, which did break our record. Fantastic. Along with that, because it was our 50th cycle and I managed to secure some special prizes, every manager gets 20 free matches for next cycle. So you get 20 free automatically. Just make sure you tell them what you're using it for. And if you have some singles champions, you get more free matches. So hopefully everybody can use those. Lots of free matches coming your way.
Now, IWA dumb question. We have to put LNL special or an LNL special reward or?
Yeah, well, if you just say something like, with the LNL's 50th cycle special or something.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. The IWA hopefully will know if you give them a little bit of information. So, diving right into some of our highlights, because I'm going to try my best to keep on pace. We also had the highest strategy average. So next cycle, not this cycle, not for 51. For 52, will get a 2-for-1 deal, 2 matches for $1, which if you take a match deal, ooh, my voice cracked. I'm going through puberty. If you take a match deal, instead of 20 matches, it bumps up to 24. So, at some point it starts to level out. But 2 matches for $1. If you take a match deal, make sure you take your extra 4 matches next cycle for cycle 52. Also, congratulations. Well done. We have a new Colossal champion, Darth Jagotu. Man, that was not even close. Yeah, thank you. You're so much better. I did a T instead of a K sound, but that's K doesn't have a sound. Well, sort of. Anyway. So we have a new Colossal champion. Both Darth, say that name again for me.
Jigoku.
Perfect. And Patient Z beat Dr. Frankenstein by 1 point, but the Sith Lord did a better finish in the Battle Royal, hence he becomes the new champion. But it's not all bad news for Dr. Frankenstein and his patients, because Dr. Frankenstein managed to beat Jason Voorhees and win the Commissioner Challenge along with 25 free matches.
Nice, scored. Wow.
Yeah. So so our next challenge will be finishing up soon, and then we'll start another tournament. I am considering whether or not to bump it up to maybe 12. So we do have quite a few new people. So if we still have this many new people this cycle active, chances are good I'm going to bump up that Commissioner Challenge to 12 wrestlers. So we'll see how that goes.
Nice.
Patient X won Monsters Ball. So Patient X will be the challenger for the Underworld title at Dead by Dawn. So the only catch with that is not really to do with the champion or the challenger, but if Sinister Bagul would cash in his head in the box and win the title, obviously that would change our title match. Sinister Bagul did not cash in this cycle, so we'll see what happens.
You know what?
You never know. He can cash in any time of his choosing. He just has to include it in his trash talk.
That sneaky monster is going to cash it in after. Watch. He wants a long reign. He's like, you know what? Right after the pay-per-view, bam,
When
next cycle.
Wore out. Yeah. So speaking of Sinister Bagul, he, along with his League of Extraordinary Evil, entered the Dead by Dawn. The deadline to enter the Dead by Dawn match was this past cycle. So in addition to the entries listed in your bulletin for Cycle 50, additional entries, Chrome Skull, Jin the Wishmaster, Sinister Bagul, The Creeper, Robocat, Squeaky, Morbius, and Bigfoot.
Yes.
So those 8 monsters, will join the field that's listed in your bulletin, and they will make up the Dead by Dawn contest. Pretty excited for that one. Probably going to be a big write-up, so hopefully that all goes well. Speaking of the Dead by Dawn pay-per-view, the Terror Tag match is now set, in a way, right? We could have a triple threat if Sinister Bagul can beat Jason Voorhees in a singles match. Bagul and Krampus will enter as a third team in the tag match, but the challengers for the Terror Tag titles at the pay-per-view officially, having won the number 1 contenders kind of round robin the last 3 cycles, Robocat and Squeaky, who went a very impressive 8-1 over the last 3 cycles.
Dang.
So Robocat and Squeaky will challenge Jason and Michael Myers at the pay-per-view for the Terror Tag titles.
Now that's special thanks to Catfish for getting them in line and ready to fight.
Getting him ready to go, working him up.
Oh, yeah.
So that's all I had on the Commissioner side, and I managed to knock that out in like under 10 minutes, I think. Flip, is there anything that you want to add on the Commissioner side before I speed demon through our trash talk?
No, because I mean I'm looking at the haunted grounds.
Haunted grounds, yeah. I hope everybody enjoys that. I tried to get a little like table going. I hope that makes it easier to read.
Yeah.
So obviously the titles across the top, the Amityville, and then the Crystal Lake, and then Elm Street. And so, hopefully that helps. And obviously, you see the listings there. Having a greatest number of unique titles, and then having the highest titles is what's putting people in those spots. So right now, Blade is in first place, but obviously we've only had a few cycles through the year. So Blade, the Vampire Hunter, Patient Z, and then down the list. So Patient Y has 2 Elm Street titles, but that doesn't really help too much because unless we get to the greatest total number of regional titles.
Aha. Yeah, he likes that. He likes that Elm Street title.
Like Elm Street, I guess.
Yeah. Nice.
Hey, take what you can get, I guess, right?
Oh yeah.
So there is that. Yeah, thank you.
Oh man. Now, trash talk is moving. I mean, we're getting closer and closer to Dead by Dawn.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't posted it, but I will try and post it. I did an interview with the Sith Lord's manager, and he kind of went over the metamorphoses of
Nice.
getting them going from dragons to the Lucifer's luchadores, and then onto becoming the Sith, and
I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah, so we'll hopefully we can get that one posted soon as well. So,
and somebody please tell the amazing, wonderful, legendary icon Catfish Rob that they are no longer dragons.
Yes.
Like they are Sith now.
They are the Siths. Yeah. I mean, and you know what? Hey, so someone like Catfish, who seen him in the locker room for some time, he's still having a hard time. Like, what do you mean you moved on? Like, what do you mean you moved on?
Yes.
But
shout out Catfish.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are we ready for our TT aspect now?
Yeah, let's.
Right.
I'm curious. I'm curious.
Highlights.
I'm curious to see the shotgun edition of the trash talk.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to drop a small bombshell, and the negotiations to bring the Pale Man back have been successful. And so those of you who were sad to see him go and would love to watch him return can look forward to his column being back in the next edition of the Living Nightmare Report. So thank you for all the fan mail.
Just I mean, just remember to keep the fairies away from him, because
right.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, you know what? When I saw
the movie,
yeah, that thing creeped me the hell out, dude.
Dude, he is creepy.
Like, why did you take the apple, you stupid?
I know, no doubt. And so
was it
actually,
an apple?
I almost posted a picture. I found, I don't know if you're into the Funko Pop dolls. I found a pop vinyl of the Pale Man. It is freaking awesome, and I wanted to post it. Maybe I will post it still. It is so cool, and I know that makes me nerdy, but I don't care. The Pale Man pop vinyl is awesome. I was so happy.
Yeah, I gotta see that because I'm curious as to how they made his face. Okay, yeah.
I'll post it somewhere. Okay, so our trash talk. The League of Extraordinary Evil is prepped and ready for Dead by Dawn. Sinister Bagul made no bones about it. Either his crew will be successful or he doesn't mind burying them himself. Yeah, no messing around with Sinister Bagul. Dr. Frankenstein says to Patient X that he will face Morbius at the pay-per-view. Dr. Frankenstein really wants to figure out what makes Morbius tick. And so we'll see that showdown at the pay-per-view, which actually we're going to talk more about Morbius here in a moment. The Sith include their battle oath. So if you haven't read it, you have probably not very long to go back and read it. It is very good and kind of starts to hint at what occurred with them and what we can look forward to. Catfish Rob and Foxwoman Santana want the Sith, formerly dragons, at the pay-per-view. Good news is we've got that 8-monster match set, which I think is going to tear the house down between the Sith and the creature features. Woo. So hopefully I really think that match, all due respect to everybody else, that match could steal the show. So we'll see what happens there. The Creature Feature, speaking of that group, beat up the Sith at, get this, a KFC.
Dude.
So a few I believe it was RoboCat and Squeaky went to get some KFC, and lo and behold, the former Dragons were there, and and then Catfish and Foxwoman and Bigfoot show up, and we have a bit of a brawl inside of KFC, which was probably the most exciting Thursday night the folks in that particular town had in a long time.
I would say so.
Kudos. Always fun to read a Catfish Rob sneak attack. You never know where it could happen. KFC. I just wanted the RoboCop version of the Colonel to show up.
Nice.
Okay, maybe next time. Moving on, Wolfman Joe says that he wants Morbius at the pay-per-view.
What?
And if Scott Pratt doesn't give him Morbius at the pay-per-view, he's going to start targeting fans. But he doesn't waste any time. He kills and disembowels 3 fans immediately after he says this. So,
you know what? You know what? That's probably his the vampire side of him. He's probably just losing it. Yeah, he's losing it a little bit.
I mean, he didn't even give Pratt a chance. Like, give it to me now, not fast enough.
I wanted it yesterday.
So, and now that the match between Patient X and Morbius has been signed, I think we may see an untold reign of terror by Wolfman Joe.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. So the battle between the Sith and Catfish Rob continues as the Sith did a very creepy, scary attack on Catfish Rob. And then we hear from Akuma, and then they collapse the arena.
Nice.
So the arena collapses on the fans, on Catfish, and so hopefully everybody's okay. But there has to be some serious injuries.
I was gonna say, hopefully everybody's okay. You don't provide hard hats coming into the arena.
No, we're just hoping that the number of casualties is not as high as it potentially could be. But when you collapse an entire arena, hey, that's the price of coming to the LNL show. No guarantees for the fans.
Oh man, those damn Siths. They're starting trouble already.
Sorry. Yeah, those dastardly Siths. So then we have a picture and a very mysterious message from someone unidentified that they are watching Dr. Frankenstein and that his time on top is coming to an end. So I will be very interested to see how that develops and see who is talking about ending Dr. Frankenstein's reign in the kind of main event circle.
They don't know the Dr. Frankenstein that we've known. I mean, he's nice. He's a nice guy. He's trying to cure Morbius. I mean, yeah.
He's doing his best.
Yeah.
So then we have some pictures. Always just a shout out to that. If you have new characters coming in, providing pictures that first cycle, second cycle, very much appreciated. We got some pictures of 3-Finger, Sawtooth, One Eye, and Pinhead. And I don't know about you, but the names 3-Finger, Sawtooth, and One Eye give me a bit of a chuckle. So I think it's awesome.
They look like future California congressmen if I ever seen them.
Get those boys elected. So very much looking forward to seeing what that group has in mind. Jason Voorhees, and Michael Myers, along with Leatherface, have a fantastic attack on Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Jason attacks Roderick Strong. These are normal men wrestling in the LNL. Jason attacks Strong and Fish with his title belt, leaves them in a bloody heap. Michael Myers and Leatherface, for whatever reason, decide they need a 2-on-1 attack on Riley. They leave him lying in a pool of blood, and And so didn't work out so well for Strong and Fish and O'Reilly this past cycle. And then Fritz the Night Owl, thank goodness. Maybe my like the one that made me chuckle the most. He talks about how some teen got mistaken for Myers last cycle, and so Fish and Strong and O'Reilly didn't really beat up Michael Myers because, of course, Michael Myers doesn't speak, and so they should have known right away it wasn't actually him, and it was some poor drunk teenager, and they beat up and decimated.
Oh no, that's lovely. That's lovely. So I love that.
I always appreciate the stylings and news releases of one Fritz the Night Owl. So
I mean shout out to the manager. I mean anytime you can reference trash talk from the previous cycle and just bring it all into perspective is beautiful. I mean that's one of those things I think we all enjoy.
For sure. All right, so I just ran through trash talk really fast. I hope nobody's too upset. I hope we featured everybody, kind of gave a synopsis. The goal being, of course, to get this show up ASAP, so you have something to listen to before our Cycle 51 comes this Tuesday.
And more than anything, to remind everybody to use your free matches.
Please use your free matches. Yes, please don't lose your free matches.
Now this is a one and done, right? You can't like, oh hey, I was in cycle blah blah blah. Can I have some more free matches or?
Yeah, the Cycle 50 deal is for this cycle. It's for Cycle 51. We do have the ongoing over 100 cards. Anytime we have over 100 cards, every singles champ gets 10 free matches.
Nice.
But the 20 free for everyone to take this cycle was for the 50th cycle anniversary or whatever you want to call it. So the 20 free is this one and done. So please take them. If we have 10 managers and they all take 20 free matches, that's 200 free matches.
Oh yeah.
So we don't want to lose those.
Yeah, no. Everybody take your matches and let's keep it over 100 so we can keep getting some more.
Yeah, that's the goal. Try and keep it over 100. Over 100 is ambitious, and I'm not disappointed. Truly, I'm not disappointed if we have less than 100 because the LNL managers do great. The league is active. The league is fun. Over 100 cards, excuse me, is this kind of a cherry on top because that rewards you for your for all of your activity. So anytime we can have over 100 is great because that'll get us those additional free matches.
Definitely. And just want to remind anyone listening, these airwaves are open to one and all. Don't think that I exclusively have anyone on for any particular reason. Just like the manager of the Sith wanted to come on, I wanted him to come on and kind of give us a little more insight as to his characters. If you feel like you want to come on, give us a little more insight, by all means, we'd love to have you.
I don't want to argue with you, Flip, but I do think that you limit who you have on your show to whoever will be on the show. So whoever wants to be on the show, Flip will have you on. Flip's probably the most open-minded person to get on, to be on IWA airwaves ever. So take your opportunity, get on, talk smack about the LNL if you want, but I prefer you not. So
come on, come and get some airtime if you'd like. So that's
airtime. That's right.
Definitely. Well, we're gonna wrap this one up. Like I said, we've kept it short and sweet, thanks to some technical difficulties that have held me up. But again, we'll get things moving and get these shows back up for you guys so everybody can enjoy them. You've been listening to Commissioner Scott Anderson and myself, IWA Flip. We'll see you guys next time.